What's up, everyone? Welcome back to After the Storm. This is the Canes game review for the 5-4 win in game number 16 of the season against the Los Angeles Kings. An intro in this game, we have Frederik Andersen back in the net facing Cal Petersen at the other end. Steven Lorentz, the lone scratch in this game as the lineup returns to healthy. Some players are going to rotate in and rotate out, so Lorentz out for this game. Stepan comes in for his right wing spot. Early on, a very solid start in this one, which would end up being a bit of a scoring fest, a game we probably didn't expect to see, truth be told. Early on, Freddie makes a nice stop off Tobias Bjornfot, who I think had a pretty strong game in this one. Back down the other way, Aho, perfect pass over to Jarvis. Jarvis, a sliding over Cal Petersen, just a beautiful shot. Beats Cal Petersen 1-0. He's got his fourth of the season already. I think he's now scored in 3 consecutive games. The guy is just lighting it up. And almost right after this goal, as this kind of the theme of the game was like score one, the next goal is coming right after. Shot from the point gets blocked right down to the feet. Blake Lizotte, who's one of my favorite players around the league, and the guy I'm going to be highlighting later on in this video, he pulls the puck out from underneath the feet and just rips a wrist shot right past Frederik Andersen. And just like that, it's back to a tie game, 1-1. That's his first of the season, and almost right after his goal, a shot from the point, Stepan with the tip. Canes are back up 2-1. Stepan's already got 3 on the year. Pretty good for a guy who's likely going to be coming into the lineup, putting up production, fitting in very well on the fourth line. Freddie makes a nice stop on a Andreas Athanasiou little breakthrough, kind of chipped the puck to himself, skated on. He's probably one of the fastest skaters in hockey these days. Freddie makes a nice stop on him, but immediately after, the point shot from Edler, tipped by Kempe through Andersen. We are tied 2-2. And then the penalties started. Svechnikov trips up Mikey Anderson, sending the Kings to their first power play of the game. Anderson stops Kopitar and Kempe on this power play before Arthur Kaliev ends up taking a call, sending us to 4-on-4, and eventually Carolina would have a brief power play. Ethan Bear, who had a pretty rough game in this one, I didn't think it was too bad, but he has a turnover, leads to a 2-on-1. Of course, a few really critical turnovers in this game from the Carolina Hurricanes. But on the other end, Kempe would miss the net. Kings kill off the 52nd power play for Carolina. Marnook would take a penalty, and on the delayed penalty, a shot from, I'm not even sure who shot it. I'm going to have to flip the page here. Mata. Mata shot it. Yeah, so Mata shoots it, but on the way through, Brandon Lemieux comes by Frederik Andersen, just completely bowls him over. Very easy. Goaltender interference penalty. Martinook's penalty stands up on the play. So the Kings, instead of scoring a goal to go up 3-2, end up taking a power play, their second of the night, and the game remains 2-2. And midway through that power play, the period would expire, so we head into the second period, a 2-2 hockey game, a shootout in LA. Definitely not the game we expected coming into this one. It looked with the way both teams were trending, I should say, it looked like this was going to be a very defensive game. Start the second period off. Carolina easily kills off this penalty. No real chances for LA on this one. Nino Niederreiter had a nice chance coming in, shot, but Petersen with a nice blocker save. And then on a nice patient passing play, Sebastian Aho feeding it over to Seth Jarvis, very similar to the first goal of the game. To Jarvis, and this one actually hits Tobias Bjornfot, who again I really like his game, but he had a very rough night in this one. It tips off him, goes past Cal Petersen, and the Canes lead 3-2. Aho's 8th of the season, and at the other end, Freddie Andersen is making saves off of Arvidsson and Kempe again. He was very good in this whole game, especially late in the third period. So even despite giving up 4 goals, he was another really good night from Freddie. Nino Niederreiter, who came up on one play kind of limping a little bit after going into the post, he ends up coming back on his very next shift and making a great play on a cross-seam pass diving through to deflect it up into the netting. And right after that play, Aho would drive towards the net. Iafallo ends up holding him on the play, sending Carolina to their, I believe it was their second power play of the night. Yep, second power play of the night. LA got a lot more power plays than Carolina in this one, but Iafallo off for holding, Carolina back to the power play. And on the power play, Svechnikov with a brutal giveaway, just really didn't look or really double check his pass. Gives it up to Kempe here. Kempe down on a breakaway, slides it through the 5-hole of Frederik Andersen. We're tied at 3-3. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first shorthanded goal of the season the Carolina Hurricanes have given up. And the Kings kill off the rest of the penalty. Not a strong showing on the power play there for this one on Carolina. Right after, though, a Slavin point shot drops down, and very similar to the Blake Lizotte goal from earlier for the Kings. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, he finds the puck through the maze of legs, brings it to his backhand, flips it over Cal Petersen, and the Canes lead 4-3. Svechnikov, again, I don't think he had a great game in this one by any stretch. He has a chance a little bit later on, but usually his issue is penalty trouble and puck management, and in this game it was very well highlighted. Takes a hooking call on Dustin Brown, which did prevent a scoring chance, so maybe that's probably one of the better penalties Svech could have taken. But the LA Kings head back to the power play. Nothing really going on this one. Canes kill it off pretty easily. Svechnikov out of the box comes down the other way, 2-on-1, gets a shot, rings it off the post. His first line of Svechnikov, Aho, and Jarvis has just been so damn good. They get a nice passing play through. Jarvis gets a nice shot off, and it's a nice stop by Petersen, but he is hovering around that net, looking for another goal. After this, Kaliev a nice 2-on-1 opportunity. Makes a nice shot, but Freddie there makes a big save. Whenever there was a big save to be needed in this game, man, did Frederik Andersen make it. And that's we're going to show that off in the third period for sure. But, man, even, like I mentioned it earlier, despite giving up 4 goals, he looked great. But after the 2-on-1 chance for Kaliev, the puck leaks back to the point. Matt Roy jumps in, just puts all his body weight into this shot. It gets through. There's Lemieux on the doorstep. A great net front presence is Brendan Lemieux in this league for the LA Kings. And man, it easily tucks it around Frederik Andersen. We are tied 4-4. And the scoring fest continues. Martin Necas, who was very quiet up until this point of the game, he just dangles around like 2 of the LA defenders, goes right to the net, tucks it around the far side of Cal Petersen, and Carolina leads 5-4. His 4th of the season, and that would take us into the second intermission. The Canes lead 5-4 heading into the third period. Physicality picked up just a tad into the third period. Jesper Fast, who again, it seems like I talk about him at the beginning of every single period, at least once a video, that he does something great at the beginning of a period. Here he lays a hard hit on Tobias Bjornfot, who again, I love his game, but he had a real rough night. Physically, he tips a puck into his own net, but still, the future is bright in LA for Tobias Bjornfot. Freddie makes a great save on Brendan Lemieux, and this play here, nice play in the corner from Arthur Kaliev. He gets the puck out to Lizotte. Lizotte, one of my favorite players around this league. Great heads-up play, senses a 2-on-1 there, a mini little 2-on-1 shaping up. Gets that puck over to Lemieux. Lemieux's one-timer, a great shot, and Freddie Andersen reads it all the way, makes a huge save, keeping the Canes up by a goal. Ethan Bear, who, again, I mentioned earlier, had a bit of a rough game. He takes a penalty here on Victor Arvidsson, sending LA back to the power play for a 4th time. And on this power play, the biggest chance of it, Kempe, one chance, stopped by Freddie. His second chance, which very easily could have ended up in the net, hits the side of the net. That would pretty much do it for any chances. Canes kill this one off. And then this became the Freddie Andersen show. At the end of this game, just making saves on Bjornfot, making saves on Kopitar. Another one on Iafallo, and then the massive scramble play. There's like 4 or 5 chances in this like 1-minute sequence, and Freddie makes all the saves. The last real chance, as time was ticking down, Arthur Kaliev got a shot. It went wide of the net, came out of the zone. That would do it. The time would expire on the LA Kings. And the Carolina Hurricanes continue their perfect road trip so far, 3-0-0 on this West Coast swing, and they win this one 5-4. A bit of a shootout in LA, but they improved their record to 14-2-0 to start this season, an incredible record one of the top records in the league, maybe the top right now. I don't think anybody else maybe has more points than them, but man, this team is legit. It seems like every type of game you can play with Carolina right now, they are adapting and winning the game. So let's get on to some player analysis. The good, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, I thought had probably he's had a few games ever since he moved to that fourth line, man. He's been great. Just something great to see. Looks like he's a lot more comfortable in the center position, a little bit more control. It seems like he wants more responsibility as well, which is a big aspect of it all. He was great in this one. Had the backhander goal. Of course he's not throwing up as many goals as we probably want to see with the $6.1 million price tag, but I think the Canes are looking at this as a long-term thing, and it's just, man, he's been very solid, and he's been great since he moved to the fourth line. Freddie, again, just the saves when you need them. Even in a game where he gives up 4, he looks tremendous. This guy is legit. So legit. I feel bad that I had any reservations about Frederik Andersen coming into this. And Aho, probably the best offensive play driver. I think I heard this on the broadcast for Mike Maniscalco, and I talking about the 2015 draft and how you can make an argument he would go second. I mean, I don't think there's an argument to go second, probably third. Third's a little bit more realistic. I think obviously go ahead of Dylan Strome in that draft, but telling me that Aho's better than Eichel, I mean, I don't know. I think Eichel's still probably the better overall player, especially from a point of being dynamic, but Aho is great, like a third or fourth overall. If you redraft that 2015 class easily, he's in the top 5 for sure. But I heard that, and I think what he probably meant to say was third because, McDavid, Eichel, Aho, probably the 3 best players to come out of that draft for sure. But man, yeah, what a guy what a player he is, man. It's just every time he's got the puck, it just seems like something's gonna happen. Average in this game, I thought Svechnikov was. Bear, probably another one I threw in, but I didn't really write down Bear because I thought he just had a rough game, but it wasn't doing a whole lot to the detriment of the team. Svechnikov had some offensive chances in this one. He's obviously playing on that really good top line right now, so I'm not going to worry about that too much, but really it's coming down to the penalties. It's coming down to the giveaway that leads to the Adrian Kempe shorthanded goal, so that's why I gave him the average here. And then bad, again, I think if this is the third game in a row I wrote down nobody. I don't have anybody who's played bad. This is terrific to see, of course, because I think the first 3 or 4 or 5 games of the season, I had players written down who I thought had bad games, and now it just seems like everybody's kind of found their groove. They're playing very, very well. And to highlight a Kings player, again, I mentioned earlier, it's going to be Blake Lizotte. I would love to see this guy on the Carolina Hurricanes. I don't think it'll ever happen because I think he's very valued in LA. But man, like this guy plays, I think he's 5'7" or 5'8", and he just plays like he's 6'10" out there. Like he's so good. He's a very good puck handler. I just like the player so much. So fun game here. That'll wrap it up for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up down below. Leave me a comment talking about the game, talking about a future game, or just any type of question. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below and the notification bell so you can see these videos as soon as they upload. And as always, everyone, I will catch you on the next one.